Hello, Unbreakable Souls. It is Thursday, February 6th, and I am going to do a reading today. But before I do that, there is a message that came through during meditation. I didn't post it in the community board because it was fairly short. But God says it's time. He's held you in the shadows for too long. He's done hiding you. It's time to get up, get out, and get to work. So some of y'all, he's implanted some seriously interesting and amazing ideas. Some of y'all might be getting downloads to start a new project, start something. But whatever that is right now that's coming through, God says it's time. You're ready. You're ready. You've probably been isolated from family. You've probably cut a lot of karmic ties. Your mindset has shifted. Even your vocabulary a little bit has changed a little bit to where people are like, who are you? Like, where are you getting this vocabulary from? You've never said things like that before. Like, people are feeling like they don't know you. So it's time. It's time. So that is the initial message. If you're new here, welcome. Thank you so much for stopping by and checking out the channel. I really do appreciate it. This channel is for the Unbreakable Souls Collective. We are a community of individuals who have been through things in life that, thank God, we have not been broken by. And these messages, these warnings, this knowledge, this guidance is for us. It's for those who are still remaining, and some are even needing to wake up. We are also meant to wake individuals up to becoming their unbreakable souls. So if you made it to this channel, or this channel has made it to your algorithm, it's time. God says it's time. Welcome. You are on a different timeline now. God says it's time. It's time to get to work. So it's time to start working on yourself. It's time to start hearing the messages. Not everything that I say will be for you specifically. It will be for different people. This is a collective message. Everyone is different. Everyone lives their lives differently. Everyone is in different stages of their life, on different timelines, as far as whether things are happening to them right now, they're about to happen, they've happened in the past. One of my readings, one of my subs said that, what I talked about happened to him 25 years ago, right? So just some not everyone's on different timelines, but again, as Unbreakable Souls, we go through similar things. Some of my messages are very, very specific. Again, if you made it here, welcome. It's time. God says it's time to start working on yourself. It's time to start becoming or remaining unbreakable. And my messages won't always be sunshine and rainbows. It'll be literal instructions and guidance and knowledge. And again, some warnings for individuals that are in your life, regarding individuals that are in our life, regarding things that are happening in your life. It could be past, present, future. Time is fluid. I'm not sure when you'll see this message. So if you're seeing it today, not necessarily, I know every time I get on this video, I mention the date, but whenever you see this, God says it's time for you to see this. So welcome. I'm so happy you've woken up. If you are returning, thank you so much for returning. Thank you for going on this journey with me. Thank you for all the feedback, all of the comments and interactions. I know that some of my messages in the last couple of days have been very specific, and they haven't been for everybody. So if they're not for you and it just is not resonating with you, return that and keep it moving. That message isn't for you. Maybe take a look at some of my older videos if you are inclined to want to hear a message from for the Unbreakable Souls Collective, and the message that I'm doing, that most updated message isn't for you. I do have almost I'm at like 290 something videos right now. In the last, I would say I opened this, I started this channel maybe in like September or something. So there's, again, time is fluid. So go back, maybe there's something that you will draw you to one of my older videos for a message, but lots of good stuff in all of the videos that have come through. I guess I have to make a disclaimer. I really didn't want to do this because I did put it in my community board. For those of you that didn't see it, if my readings are too slow for you, if you feel, somebody said like it's bad business to do readings that slow, people are going to leave the chat, which I'm not doing a chat. These are pre-recorded videos. Anyway, this isn't a business for me. I was drawn here through God, like God drew me to create this channel. This isn't a business for me. I'm very thorough with my readings. I don't care if, you know, I am very thorough and obedient on how the readings come through. So if you are feeling a sense of impatience, this isn't for you. That particular reading is not for you. If you are feeling inclined to watch it all the way through, then there's something in there that's for you. Even like my last reading that I did, it was very slow. God and ancestors and Holy Spirit made me go so far back. It made me be so thorough to where I was having to read each card to make sure that message came out pristine. They wanted me to really get the message right yesterday, when I feel like I get them right all the time. But there was something about the message, I said yesterday, but something about my last message where ancestors was like, listen, for each card, read and make sure that whoever is hearing this, whoever needs to hear it, understands the backstory of this. And it didn't really start to, it came together, the entire reading, it came together, but that was for somebody specific. And at the end of that last video, you know, if you were drawn to continue to watch through and really get the meanings of what was coming through, because you have to be students as well, right? You have to really learn and be willing to learn. This time of, like, in these times, people are so quick to convenience, right? They want things to be rapid. They don't want to sit and listen. They don't want to read a short message. They don't want to have patience. Patience is a virtue. And if you don't have patience, you'll miss out on a lot of blessings. If you want things quick, fast, if your attention span is that short, you're probably missing out on quite a lot of blessings, a lot of messages, a lot of signs and synchronicities. Sometimes you have to just be patient, allow God to speak to you through people or to you directly, and wait and see what he has to say. But again, if you have impatience in some of these videos, for one, it's either not for you, or two, you're not ready to, you're a cross watcher. This ain't for you. Because the people who come to my video are ready to listen and learn and receive the guidance. There's enlightenment in it. They understand that. And they understand if it's not for them, then they know to, you know, leave it there. It's for somebody else in the collective. It's kind of like a counselor, right? Let's just go very basic. It's kind of like a school counselor. A school counselor is not saying the same thing for every student in the school. Every student is not going through the same thing. Every student has different things going on, and the counselor has to say different things to rectify each situation that each student is going through. So if this doesn't apply to you, then this isn't for you. That message is not for you, but that doesn't mean that that message isn't for somebody in the collective. Anyway, that's all I have to say. I did write I got time, y'all. Like, though I work and I have a full-time job, like I'm not the one to play with. Let's just be clear. If you put something under my videos and it's something that I feel inclined to respond to, and God gives me the response to provide, then I'm going to do it. So I always have time for what God tells me to have time for. I am not scared to lose subscribers. I'm not scared to go back and forth when I need to go back and forth, when I'm being drawn to go back and forth. It might be the Taurus in me, you feel me? But I'm not afraid of that. So I always have time. I always have time to enlighten those who need enlightened, to inform those who need to be informed, and to check those who need to be checked. Period. This is bothering my necklace, is messing up. But anyway, God says it's time. Welcome here. I'm sorry I had to do that real quick. So I'm gonna do the same format today. It's either gonna be for you or it's not gonna be for you today. Take it how it resonates. If it does not resonate for you, it's all right. I mean, I did get a couple of other messages or comments under my videos to where it's like, this isn't for me. This isn't my, and that, thank you for being respectful. Thank you for the comments. Thank you for, I can't think of the name of the person that was, that had put that down. Like, are you sure this is for me? Are you sure you're reading the cards right? Yes, sweetie, I was reading the cards right, but it wasn't for you. And the way that message came out, thank God, praise God that, you know what I mean? That type of stuff didn't happen to you, but it happened to somebody in this collective, and somebody needed to hear it. And maybe it happened to somebody in your family, and maybe you didn't know about it. Even though it didn't happen to you, I believe in that reading, I said it could have happened to somebody you know, right? It was a family secret that was kept. There was somebody keeping a family secret. So if it wasn't you, if it had nothing to do with you, then again, leave it where it is. I don't know how many times I have to say that. I watch other readers and I see them say that same thing, and they go through the same thing. It's like, all right, y'all sit, you guys get on YouTube. You sit here, you get on YouTube to watch videos, to watch these, and this is a niche, right? So you guys are watching specific videos only to get on there to hear every reader say, take it how it resonates. Not everything is going to be for you. Only to hear that and still not hear that. Like, hard-headed. Maybe, I mean, literally, are y'all bored? Like, why are you really watching these videos? If you don't understand that every video isn't for you. Every video is not for everybody. That's it. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm usually a little more pleasant than this. I did meditate. I am in a good space. But it's like, again, I got time to check people who need to be checked. Like, I'm not the one or the two. I'm not. And ain't. So, again, I'm very grateful for my subscribers. I'm very grateful for the Unbreakable Souls community. And if y'all are just passing by and you realize that this ain't for you, that's good. That's all right. That's perfectly fine. Anyway, the channel is growing, and I am so grateful. Thank you so much. If you haven't yet subscribed, please like, share, like and share. Definitely like the videos, please, because it does help throw it into the algorithms. It does help make the videos more popular. And again, as I mentioned before, I am only one person. Granted, we are at 957 or 59 subs. Thank you so much. I'm so grateful for that. So we are reaching people, and people are subscribing. So keep doing what you're doing. Keep liking, commenting. I don't block nobody. Like I said, I got time. I'll read your comments. I'm not at a point to where I'm too... there ain't too many comments that are coming through to where I can't respond. So I see everybody's comments, and I make it a point to acknowledge everybody's comments, whether it's just a heart emoji, whether it's a thumbs up, whether it's an actual response. But I only do things as I'm drawn to do it. I'm not just doing this to do this for popularity. Like, I'm not. I don't do this for money. I don't have a Cash App up here. I don't have my bank. Like, I don't have none of that. I have a great job. God has blessed me with a great job. Working on other things. You know what I mean? I don't need, the reason why I'm looking for more subscribers is because I know God is telling me that there are other people for this collective that need to hear these messages. I'm just doing my work. God says it's time. It's time. Get up and go to work. It's time. So I'm being obedient. All right, so let's get this started, y'all. I just ran on a 15-minute rant. Where's my Palo Santo? I need a new stick, but I don't feel like getting up to get it, so we're going to use this little one here. I got another one just in case. Holy Spirit, God, ancestors, ascended masters, spirit guides, please protect me as I channel this message for the collective. Any harm or negativity sent to myself or the collective, I do return that to sender so strong that they don't even think about trying us again, okay? Ancestors closest to the sun, you are allowed. Anything else, any negative entity, evil entity, any cross watchers, anything like that that tries to bring or block the message that needs to come through, you must go. I only accept love, light, wisdom, peace, and guidance in this reading. Love, light, wisdom, peace, and guidance. Anything else, you are not allowed. Love, light, wisdom, peace, guidance. I know, I speak, I feel, I am love. I know, I speak, I feel, I am peace. I know, I speak, I feel, I am protected. I know, I speak, I feel, I'm connected. Let's get this started, y'all. Because these people, I think I handled that classy, though. Let me know in the comments. I think I was pretty classy with it. What y'all think? Still handled it with grace, because that's who I am. Period. But I will check a mother lover with the quickness. In real life and on here. I don't care. My daughter said, Mom, you can't be responding to the trolls. That's what they do. I said, girl, I got time. Mom, you're not supposed to be responding to the trolls. They're trolling you. That's what they do. My daughter knows that about them. All right, let's get going. Ancestors, what message do we have for the collective today? Thank you. Thank you. Get a couple more, please. Thank you. More. Thank you. One more. One more. Thank you. God says the Holy Spirit is saying get 2 more. Thank you. All right, let's see what this message is trying to tell us today. If you're new here, I know I went on a rant for the trolls, but just to explain why it takes me so long is when I begin my readings, it's like starting a puzzle from the first piece, then I build around it. Once I start to kind of put things together, it does start to flow a little quickly. Sometimes it takes longer than other times, but it does all come together, and the necessary message that's supposed to come through does eventually come through. So if you are having a sense of impatience, even from right now, this ain't for you. There's nothing here for you. But if you have a sense of you're inclined to stay and kind of listen to what the message is for today, then there's something here for you. But if in any time during the reading, you're just like your mind begins to wander, or your interest level decreases, or you do become disinterested, then maybe that's God telling you, okay, you've heard what you needed to hear. It's time to move on. It's time to go ahead and let it and move it, leave it where it is. Let somebody else pick that up. But you're always welcome to watch the entire video. But there's a message in there specifically for individuals. Now, if at some point it does not resonate with you, then at that point you are watching for entertainment purposes. And hey, thank you. All right, let's see. Someone here is disconnected with their higher self. There's someone here on this spread that's disconnected with their higher self. Collective, I don't know where this is going to fall or where you're going to fall, but again, give me some time. But there is someone here that is disconnected with their higher self. They're going back and forth to try to determine what's important to them in life and what's not. They're reevaluating the relationships in their life. Because maybe they are feeling disconnected with themselves, or I think they're reevaluating their spiritual relationship with God. They're reevaluating their relationship with God. Whether what they're doing is working for them or not. I think, yeah, someone's definitely reevaluating their relationship with God. They can feel them because they feel like they're not, their creativity is not, like they're no longer, maybe they used to be a creative person, or maybe they used to have a lot of ideas and things like that, but they don't feel inspired. They don't feel inspired to take new chances. Collective, I don't know if this is you, but there's somebody on this spread that is reevaluating their relationship with God. They don't feel inspired. They feel like I don't know if they feel this way, but they're definitely reevaluating their relationship with God, and they're no longer like willing to take chances. They're very scared to take new chances. They want to just kind of stick with what's working, basically. If it ain't broke, don't fix it type of situation. But many don't know that you are meant to continue to grow. Things don't have to be broken to want or to hold on one second. Like I was saying, things don't have to be broken to want to improve things. I think that this person is thinking about that about themselves. Like, they might be, yeah, they're going within and kind of like reevaluating themselves with their higher self. Like, is what I'm doing, like, should I want more? Yeah, and they're finding themselves like their life is getting very routine. Like they're starting to feel the monotony, the monotonous kind of routine things that are happening in life. Hold on one second. Sorry about that, y'all. Work call. But yeah, just to kind of recap real quick. There is someone here that is reevaluating within themselves whether or not their life right now, if they're putting enough work into their life, if they're doing enough, if what they're doing is enough. Because they are feeling like their life is routine, like they're getting a nudge to switch some things up is what's happening here. Yeah. They're trying to come up with an idea to help them get out of this rut, is what I'll say. They're in a rut right now about their life, about if what they're doing is enough. Someone is really trying to see if they need to be doing more, because they feel like they do need to be doing more. But that's going to require inventiveness. So maybe they're trying to come up with something new to switch up their life. Collective, this could be you. You could be trying to switch some things up. But like I said, I think I said it at the beginning of this video, God says it's time. It's time. You've been in the shadows for too long. He's planted a seed. This might be you, collective. This is the seed. Collective, is this you? Is this the seed that God has planted? He is nudging you. It's time. It's time to get up. It's time to switch it up. It's time to do something. That idea you have, that it could have been an idea that you've had for years. God is saying it's time. It's going to, and you know what? I was drawn to read a book called Live and Grow Rich. Think and Grow Rich, I'm sorry. And the chapter that I read last night talked about this. It talked about there are so many things. There are so many opportunities in life for people to be successful at, so maybe someone's looking to like get their money up, stack their, like, just go to another level as far as money. Holy Spirit, your ancestors are saying you need to get creative. Whatever, and God is planting seeds in your head. He is nudging you. God is nudging you. Your ancestors are nudging you to get creative. Create something. There's something there. This is the time. God says it's time. It's time to get up. It's time to get to work. That was my morning meditation message, and now this is coming out. Okay. Hold on, y'all. Again, I'm being drawn to make sure that this message is coming out accurately and thorough. So I know this is resonating with somebody. I know that for a fact. I can feel it. Somebody needed to hear this because this was a message that came through to my morning meditation. It's time to get to work. It's time to get to work. God says it's time to get up. It's time to switch some things up. Time to get inventive. Whatever that idea that's been placed, whatever whatever that seed is that's been placed in your mind, it's time to get up and do it. Now's the time to do it. Even if you don't, the chapter yesterday said, even if you don't know how it will be done, even if you don't have the money or the means, that you don't feel you have the money or the means to get it started, the book said to get it, like that chapter, and that chapter I read last night, this was the message. Like, all of this is God speaking, right? Even if you don't know how it's going to be done, start it. Make a plan. Write down the amount of money that you wish to acquire. Like, if you're trying to get your money up, how much money are you really trying to have, and be specific. Then think of how are you going to get it, and also what are you willing to give up to achieve the goal of retrieving that amount of money? Like, are you willing to give up more time? Are you willing to put more work in? What are you willing to give up? Because you can't. There's no such thing as something for nothing. God will give it to you. God will bless you. But what are you willing to give to God? Write this down. Write down the amount of money you're wanting to make. Write down what you're willing to give to God. Or it don't have to be money. I'm reading Think and Grow Rich. This could be, and also in the chapter, it said it doesn't necessarily have to be you wanting to acquire money. You could just want to accomplish a particular goal. Write down the goal that you want to accomplish, whether it's money, whether it's whatever. Write down what you're willing to give up to retrieve that goal, what you're willing to sacrifice to become successful for that goal. Create a plan. What are you going to do to achieve that goal? Okay, this morning I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to do some research. I'm going to learn more about this that I'm trying to do. I'm going to start asking more questions. I'm going to look, whatever you're going to do, write down the plan and give yourself a timeline of when you want to achieve this goal. God says it's time to get up. The time is now. It's time. You've been in the shadows for too long. That idea you have, that nudge you're feeling to change up your routine life, that's not just like, don't brush that feeling off. That's divine. That's God nudging you, because he's telling you now's the time. If you do it, if you get inventive, if you write this down, if you figure out the goal you want to do, you figure out a plan, you write down exactly what you want, how you want to do it, how you plan to achieve it, what you're willing to sacrifice to get it. A lot of people are selfish. A lot of people don't like to do self-sacrifice. A lot of people don't like to sacrifice things. Like, you may have to give up a habit. You might like to drink. You might like to smoke. You might like to shop a lot. You might like to gamble. You might like to I don't know, play video games. You might like to, whatever. What are you willing to give up to accomplish your goal? You might like to sleep extra long. You might not like to work. You might have to get out there and get a job if you don't have one. You might have to be willing to, I ain't going to say that because I ain't going to tell you what to do. You might have to be willing to give up a job. Anyway. But I ain't going to tell you what to do, okay? Because, listen, I have a full-time job, and I know people got bills, so I would never tell you to quit your job. I ain't going to do that. But again, think about what you're willing to sacrifice to get to accomplish this goal. But you are being nudged for this. Some of y'all might have to, again, I said, look for someone who you can ask questions to. Ancestors are saying to look for a mentor, which to me means you need to start getting involved with people who are doing the things or who have done the things that you want to do. I wouldn't even say the ones that are trying to accomplish the same goal as you, because they haven't yet accomplished it. They don't know what it takes to get to where you're trying to go. Find the people who are at where you're trying to be, doing what you are trying to do, who have accomplished a goal. Don't be afraid to ask questions. There's nothing like, don't be afraid of judgment of how people might see you because you're asking, well, how I'm trying to do, how'd you, don't be ashamed of that. Hold on, y'all. You're gonna, and as you do this, there's gonna be failure, right? But that doesn't mean you give up. Not everyone is going to agree with what you're trying to do. Whatever this idea is, whatever you're trying to do, not everyone is going to be in agreement to this. You're going to get some pushback by people in your life, maybe. They'll be like, what is you doing? What are you on? Like, what? Like, that you're going to get that. But that doesn't, you don't allow those people to make you doubt what it is you're trying to do. You have to have an unrelenting faith, belief, desire to get this done. You have to be willing to burn bridges to get this done, which means you have to be willing to take those judgments of people who are like, you are on, like, the only like, what do you think people said about the Wright brothers who thought, like, maybe we can travel in the air, we can create some type of machine to help us travel from across the world. People, what do you like, Henry Ford, a horseless carriage. Those people who do that, who are willing to ignore the naysayers, the ones who are willing to ignore the no's and continue to push, and have an unrelenting want and belief, not only a want, you have to believe that it is yours. And God is telling you that whatever this is that is in your mind is yours. This is yours. Like, you have to believe that. Don't question yourself. You have to believe that whatever this idea is, whatever this goal is, whatever it is, it could be a financial goal, it could be whatever. You have to believe deeply. And you have to not only, you have to have a desire and a strong, unrelenting belief, a relentless belief that it is yours. And you won't stop until you get what it is you deserve and what it is that you won't stop until you get your inheritance. God says it's time. The time is now. You've been in the shadows for too long. It's time to get up and work. Your inheritance. I know if you've been watching these videos, watching my videos at least, we've been talking about inheritance. Spiritual, physical, whatever. We've been talking about inheritance. If there's anything that there's a goal, there's something that you have to believe that this is yours to hold and to have, and no one can stop you. You have to be willing to burn bridges. You cut those ties with those toxic people because you believe you deserve a better life. You believe you deserve peace. Now, what is this goal? You have to have that same mindset. You have to be willing to burn bridges to get to what you want. You have to be willing to sacrifice toxic relationships, addictions, bad habits, environments, toxic environments. You got to be willing to move out of situations that you're coming. You got to be willing to give up comfortability. You got to be willing to release everything that you have in your life that will allow you to fall back on. You have to believe. You have to make sure that you let go of everything that would give you a cushion to fall back on. You have to be that uncomfortable. You have to believe that much. You have to believe in yourself that much to know, I can't go back. I don't have nothing to fall back on. This is it. That's the mindset that Holy Spirit is bringing through to me right now. That's where you need to be with it. This is it. There's nothing else. That's how important this seed that God is planting in you, that's how important this is. That's how you need to be feeling about this goal and this project or whatever it is that you're trying to do. That's how important this is. How many of you are going to be willing to burn bridges? I watched a podcast the other day, and I forget the woman's name, but she's a motivational speaker, and she said, hold on, because it was just in my mind. And it left me just like that, so I wasn't supposed to tell y'all that. What are you going to do? How many of y'all are willing to not have anything to fall back on, to get what you want, to get what you deserve? Okay, I see this is a motivational message, and I'm here for it because I love a good motivational message. I really do. One last card, and then we're going to move on to tarot. I think y'all want to do more. Y'all want more out of your life. Somebody here, collective, let me know how this resonates with you. Someone here wants more. They're having a hard, like I said, they're not sure. They're at a, if it ain't broken, why fix it? Don't fix what's not broken. Whatever that saying is. So they're not really going with the flow of their emotions and of this nudge that God is placing in their ancestors, and God and Holy Spirit is placing in their mind and in their heart and in their spirit and in their soul. It's like, it's in you. Like, I know y'all are feeling this right now. And it's not just like, okay, a little something in your mind comes to your mind and then it goes away. No, this is a feeling that you're having and you're trying to ignore it because I think things might be working all right. Things are like working out, like whatever. You don't want to do too much. Like I said, I have a really great job. I'm cool. Like, I could have just ultimately just woke up every day, did my job, made my money, and not really listen to what God was telling me and driving me to do, which was to journal, which was to provide messages. Like, I'm doing a little bit more than I'm doing more than this right now, this time of year, than I was this time last year. Go with the flow. But lately you've been having a hard time doing that. Maybe there's some distractions, constant interruptions, maybe some unpredictable mishaps, and but again, your ancestors are saying you're gonna have failure, you're gonna have difficulties with this. And I said this a couple of readings ago too, right when someone gets right there, right when they're about to get their abundance, they give up. Spirit, Holy Spirit, your ancestors, God is saying, don't give up this time. Because it's back. That feeling is back, right? You're getting there's a fire up under you that's saying, okay, I'm ready to see if this will work. But this time you're getting some guidance and you're getting some assistance here to let you know that, okay, the opportunity has come back around this time for you to start something new, for you to get inventive, for you to create, for you to start this idea, start this project, accomplish this goal, but don't give up this time. Don't give up this time. Keep going. Go with the flow. Whatever's happening is for your good. Whatever's happening is helping you get to your goal. Don't resist. Don't be stubborn. That's for somebody. All right, I'm gonna get into some tarot. This is you, collective. This is you. Now's our time, man. Like, now's our time. Why not? Listen, my daughter played volleyball a couple years ago, and they went to the championship, right? And I was talking to the coach. This is before I even knew that I had my gifts. This is before, I knew I had gifts, and I knew that I was able to plant seeds in people's hearts and into their spirits to give them a sense of motivation, to give them a sense of belief. Like, that was always me. So I was talking to the coach, and I was like, and mind you, my daughter's class of athletes is something different. Like, the schools around here have never seen anything like it. So every sport that she plays, they do something way more than the schools have ever done before in the history of the schools. That's kind of like what's happening right now in my daughter's life. Like, that's what she got going on, okay? But anyways, I'm talking to the coach, and I said, girl, you about to mess around and win this whole thing. And I just said that because it was like, shoot, this school ain't never did it, but y'all about to mess around and win this whole thing, because they just kept beating these teams that, like, no one, I ain't gonna lie, I'm like, some of them teams that they beat, I'm like, y'all know, that's what made me say it, because I'm like, they're beating teams that no one expected them to beat. And I told her, I pulled her aside, I said, y'all about to mess around and win this whole thing. That thought didn't even come to her mind. She was just like so happy that they had been winning, so happy that the school had made it that far. And I said that or whatever, and she was like, you think so? I'm like, yes. Y'all about to mess around and win this entire thing. So at the end of it, they won. They won the entire thing. I couldn't believe it. I said something else. So after that, she said, you know what? When you told me that, I took the team, we went in our huddle, and I said, why not us? She told this to the team because of what I told her, right? Why not us? That was her message to the team, and they ended up winning it. So after they ended up winning it, I said, you gonna mess around and take the head coach, because she was like, not the head of the program, right? I said, you're gonna mess around and they're gonna give this whole program to you because of what you just did. She said, nah, that would mean I'd have to take so-and-so's job, and they've been here for years, and ain't no way. I said, you about to take so-and-so's job? Nah, there ain't no way. Next season rolls around. She came up to me. She got so-and-so's job. Huh? And there was many of times that this has happened to me, but this is just an example. She got so-and-so's job. They gave her so-and-so's job, as I said, because I saw it coming. She came up to me. She said, how did you know? You said everything that you said was going to happen, happened. How did you know? So even when you don't believe that things are happening for you, there's somebody there's somebody that can see above it all, that can see that there's somebody outside of the situation that you're in. And in this case, for you, collective, is God. Even for me. I mean, I did this on the 3D, but God is doing this for me right now. There's levels to this. You know what I mean? I'm just on my little puny little level here. I'm doing what I need to do. But there's levels to it, right? I was able to speak and plant a seed into someone's soul, into someone's spirit, so that she could encourage her team to win a whole thing. Then I was able to plant the seed of manifestation, because even though she's like, no, but the thought came into her mind. I put the thought in her mind that she was probably thinking like, well, what if I did? So like I was saying, right now, you don't see what God sees for you. God is telling you, you gonna mess around and win this whole thing. Huh? You gonna F around and win this entire thing. And if you think that's not possible because you would take so-and-so and so-and-so's position and ain't no way, ain't nobody ever in your life ever did it, you gonna mess around and take so-and-so's job, take so-and-so's position. You gonna mess around and be in a position you never thought, because it just has never happened. And the people that are doing it are the people that have maybe, you know, if we're talking financial, maybe they had a little, no, there ain't no way. I'm just not in a position to do that. Like, there's no way. They ain't looking at me like that. God sees this for you. You gonna mess around and win the whole thing. You can't give up. You can't give up. You're at the precipice of it. You're at that final game where God is like, okay, you done made the changes. You done gave the sacrifices. You done cut the ties. You done moved out of toxic situations. You done gave up bad habits. You done removed yourself out of environments. You working hard. Your mind is changing. You gonna mess around and win this whole thing. God is never wrong. God sees it for you, even though you can't see it. So it's God's planting the seed right now. And he's at that point where he sees it like, dang, you done did a whole bunch of stuff that most people, because we're unbreakable souls, where most people have been broken. Let's go all the way for it. Don't even have to be anything recent. This can be your life. You're at a point in your life where God is like, you about to mess around and win this whole thing. You came through a toxic mother, a toxic family. You didn't have anything. You made it through that. You got past that. You got through heartbreak. You got through betrayal. You got through theft. You got through every hardship. Every hard team, right? If we're think about the setup of a tournament, right? You got to go through different teams, and each team gets harder. Every point in your life, everything got harder. Now you're in the championship game, and you gonna mess around and win the whole thing. You never thought you would get here. God is saying it's time. You're going to mess around and win this whole thing, collective. He sees it, and he's never wrong. And when you win the whole thing, he's going to come back to you and say, you're going to mess around and be in control of all of this. Whatever your goal is. You're going to mess around and be the leader of all of this. This is going to be your legacy. Because of the work that you've done. And because of the championship that you've won. The championship of life that you have accomplished. That you have won. You're going to mess around and be the leader of this whole thing. When I say that, it's whatever, take it how it resonates. You're going to mess around. Y'all get it? Something told me to give you that story. This is God telling you, like, he sees you. He sees you. He's seen what you've been through life. He's seen the trouble. He's seen the hard levels, the hard teams that you had to push through to beat. He's seen each obstacle that you had to hurdle over. And he's telling you, you're going to mess around and win this whole thing. And when you win that whole thing, and you create this, and you get inventive, and you create whatever this seed is that he has planted in you, and you do what it is that you're at a position to do. When you complete that and you accomplish that, you're going to mess around and be known by it. You're going to mess around and take people's jobs. In a good way. You're going to mess around and take people's positions. No matter who's in the position, whatever it is, whatever you're trying to do, drop it in the comments. Let me know in the comments what your goal is and what it is you're trying to do. I'm curious to know, because who job you about to take, collective? What you about to mess around and win the whole thing of? I'm curious. Who position you about to take? I know that's right. I know that's right. Take a couple more and then we'll get this going. Sorry, y'all. I'm going to do a part 2. I'm going to leave this for you to ponder on. And if you want to get deeper into what it is, if you want to get deeper, you want to get more into detail, I will do a second video where I get into the tarot. But so far right now, God has planted a seed in you. And it's time to get inventive. It's time to get up. It's time to work. God says it's time. You're going to mess around and win this whole thing, collective. And when you win the whole thing, you're going to mess around and take somebody's position. And God never lies. I'm going to end this for now. If this is all you needed to hear, remain unbreakable and get it started. If you want to know something a little deeper, you want to get more into tarot, I will be doing a second video. Till next time. Bye.